company is running an ex-Ear Brothers craft. As away they go for their second heat. And this time it's Mark Wilson who's determined to try and upset the apple cart and the domination of Seabow. Seabow in second place behind Wilson, and Ericsson tucked in third place behind. And the British driver doing his level best to make the American work for a living this afternoon. Seabow really has to turn on the power and turn on every trick in his not inconsiderable book if he's going to get anywhere in this heat. And they come through now for the third time, with the American really trying all he knows, but that's not quite enough to head off the Englishman at the present time. 2 fingers up, that means second place if you have to, and the American undoubtedly is going to try and force him back there. Behind Mark Wilson is making a tremendous effort to hang on to third place. Rumour has it with an experimental 4-blade prop. But that lead is coming down, and the pressure is on the British driver at the moment, as Seabow, the man who's made this his bunny, tries to close the gap and makes life more and more difficult. Through number 5, and going very nicely, thank you, Mick Bridge this time. He's up further than he was in the previous race. While, for all that, other people are having their problems, and 26 among them there isn't really going as well as he had hoped. Number 20, still in charge. Wilson holds off this battle that's going on behind him, but the American is eating the ground, takes a tight line there, and is looking for the inside of untroubled waters. Behind there, 167, the German Werner hopes once again for a good performance, but he's not having quite as good a run in this race as he was in the first. Still chasing after the leader is Seabow, and still holding on to that lead is Wilson, at 27 years old, driving at the top of his form. Third place man there, number 16, Ericsson, is not so far away. And number 5 going nicely, Mick Bridge there, looks as if he could be in with a chance for a good placing. Seabow piles on the pressure in this borrowed craft, which is heavier than that which he is used to. It may, however, prove to be an advantage in these tricky waters as he tries to close the gap on the leader, and Wilson tries to hold him off. Jean Thibodeau holding on there with the other lane craft. The 35-years-old Texan, determined not to give ground to anybody, is still going well, trying to make up for the disappointment for the lane team earlier on. But the battle between first and second looks as if it is now coming to a climax. The gap is closing all the time, and number 20, Wilson, has all the pressure in the world on him now as he comes round the buoy, trying to stay in tight, but not tight enough for the American. The 40 years old, experienced hand of the flying St. Louis driver is making life more and more difficult, and the pressure gets greater. Number 5, Bridge goes on well, still determined for a good placing, and there goes number 11 once more. Thibodeau really in with a chance this time. The leader still hanging on in there, and Wilson trying his best to stay ahead of the American, but tight behind him there. Seabow determined to try and take that place that he knows should be rightfully his. He wants the full 400 maximum points. A wide line there for number 11, a tight line on the inside. Sees a change of position, but the leaders now have got everything to go for. As side by side they come up towards us, and a tremendous fight sees Wilson still trying to hold sway, trying to take that tight line as the American flashes past on the straightaway. Rooster tail driving the Englishman behind. 11, Thibodeau going well, gets that a tight line through there, but still isn't quite speedy enough to stay with that leading group. And now up to third place, a battle now will begin to develop as Ericsson makes his play. The leader pulling away, number 7, lucky 7 it is, as Seabow goes off into the distance, but closing now to second place, as perhaps a slight snapping of concentration by number 20 Wilson sees the flying Ericsson beginning to close the gap. 16 Ericsson, 20 years old, at the top of his form, and admitting that this boat isn't suited to the course, is determined to do well, and is out now to try, if not to take the lead, to get that second place. Seaboat is forgotten in the lead as we look for the battle and watch that gap between number 20 in second place, Wilson, and behind it, the flying Swede. 11 there, Thibodeau once more, and a beautiful shot of a craft that's handling well, far better we know than the previous race saw the Englishman have lucky. Still that water, looking at the moment a little bit tricky. And this, of course, is the problem with the tidal situation constantly altering in the Bristol area. A yellow flag indicates toward a debris to Thibodeau in number 11 as he comes through. You have to pay attention to that at Bristol. Leader through, but behind him, the battle for second and third places is now becoming more and more exciting. Still number 20, Wilson goes on there in second. Werner is falling back, and he has a problem, but one man who doesn't is Ericsson. Holding on there behind, and looking for a fair number of points, Thibodeau is not in that hunt, however. And number 12, hanging on for all his worth, is Johnny Saunders in a repaired craft that's not showing the form it did in the first heat. Seabold, the master, picking his way, picking his line, as, on the far side, going hard, going fast, Mick Bridge wants fourth place if he could possibly get it. Certainly, pressure as far as he's concerned is the name of the game. And incidentally, we've seen nothing of the Italian in this contest. Seabold, trying hard, trying to get away from the opposition and succeeding. But the battle behind is the one now that is taking everyone's attention. Slowly but surely, number 20 is finding himself under more and more pressure, and the man who's doing it is Ericsson. They're not even watching Thibodeau's fine performance, or Werner as he soldiers on with a craft that really isn't on pace. It's the second and third place battle that counts in this second heat. Seabold, the leader, through again, and we glance back to see what's happening in this place behind. And up now into second place is Peter Ericsson, the 20-year-old Swede, in spite of the craft that he says doesn't suit the course, is showing everybody how to drive here at Bristol, the most dangerous course of them all. Werner the German, not too happy. Seabold, happy enough. It's another 400 points for him. He reels off the final laps with considerable advantage and considerable ease. Likewise, in second place, in spite of a huge effort by number 20, Wilson, there's no one who can get ahead of Ericsson. Ericsson it is who holds on to second, and coming along there quite nicely, number 11, Thibodeau, is really trying to make places all the time. Can he improve his situation? Time alone will tell. We come into the closing stages. Seabold proving he's the master once more, extending his lead all the time, and still the battling goes on behind, but no one really can get near to the leader. He reels off these final laps with consummate ease, taking the full 400 points, and the crowd watches spellbound, showing him off to be the finest craftsman that we've seen at Bristol during the course of the day. Mercury the sign, and a mercurial performance by the 40-years-old American who really means business and shows that he knows his business. In and around the boys, duck the crowd, but no one can get anywhere near the man in front. Still in second place and holding on for all he's worth is the man who fought his way there, Peter Ericsson. Ericsson it is, who holds off Wilson, tight behind him, only a matter of feet in it, all the way as they go into the final stages of this race. Billy Seabold may have first place wrapped up, but this is a fight right the way to the finish, and few people can take their eyes off what's happening. Seabold then wins Group A, Heat 2. Ericsson in second place, Mark Wilson in third place, Mick Bridge in fourth place with the Century Oils craft, then Gene Thibodeau with the Lane Holmes craft, and Johnny Saunders with the Piers boat finishes up in sixth place. The points position makes it clear that everyone's going to have a problem with Billy Seabold, with 800 points to Ericsson's 600, Wilson's 320, which he shares with Werner, Thibodeau's 296 shared with Bridge,